Welcome you all. In today's session, let us see why isolation is required for the gate and base circuits of BJT. As you know, when we operate the transistor as a switch, we need to apply a sufficient voltage at the gate terminal or a current at the base terminal of the transistors in order for the device to operate. So when it is operated as a switch, we know that it has to operate either in cutoff or in saturation. So our main aim is to make the transistor operate in saturation with a low on-state voltage. So for that, a sufficient gate voltage is required as well as the base current is required. So if you look at this, we have a input voltage which is DC which is applied across the supply terminals. This is the ground terminal and this is an inverter setup. Okay, this is an inverter circuit using MOSFET. So you can observe that each MOSFET has its own gate terminal and source terminal. So how are we going to make this device operate? Our input DC, okay, has to get converted to AC across the load. For that, we need to operate all these MOSFETs M1, M2, M3 and N4. So to operate these particular MOSFETs, we need to apply the gate voltage with respect to the source terminal. So you can observe here, we have a logic circuit which generates the pulses which can be applied to the MOSFETs M1, M2, M3 and M4. This logic circuit has a common ground and this common ground can be connected to the ground terminal of the circuit. Now, how are you going to apply the pulse across the MOSFETs? So, across M4, G4 and S4, so you can connect this directly. Ground is anyways connected, so just connect this G4 to this G4. So what about G2? G2 is also fine. So the common collector, the ground is here. That ground is connected to this ground. Only thing is we need to connect this gate terminal of the logic circuit to the gate terminal of MOSFET M2. Now what about this M1 and M3? Do we have a common ground connection here? No. That means we need to have a source terminal connection. So this gate G1 can be given to gate G1, but from where will we give this source? So it is not possible. The same way with M3, we can connect G3, but can we give the common ground to this point? No. That is why we need to have a isolation between this plus this power circuit. Okay, this inverter circuit carries a large power, whereas this logic circuit which generates only the pulse which is required for either the gate or the base drives. In case of BJT, it carries very low power. So obviously we need to have an isolation between this logic circuit and this particular power circuit. So how can we achieve this isolation? So see here, this is what the gate pulse which is generated from the logic circuit which is being applied to the circuit which was earlier shown. So one way of achieving an isolation is by using a pulse transformer. What is meant by pulse transformer? Whatever pulse is generated at the primary, it is applied to the secondary. So this pulse transformer usually has only one primary winding, whereas it can have multiple secondary windings. Across each secondary windings, you can connect one particular device. Okay, here you have only one secondary winding which is shown. So the input generated is a pulse. Okay, and this pulse is applied to how many transistors here? Only one transistor. So if you have to have one more transistor, that means you should take it from the secondary winding of the pulse transformer. One more secondary. I told you can have multiple secondary windings. You can connect the second transistor to the second secondary winding of the pulse transformer. This is one way of achieving an isolation between the logic circuit and the power circuit. One more way of achieving isolation is by using optocouplers. This is the one which is usually used in most of the applications. So what it has is, it has this infrared light emitting diode, okay, and it has a silicon phototransistor. So the input signal whatever is applied, it is applied to the infrared light emitting diode, and the output is taken from the phototransistor. So the rise and fall times of the phototransistor should be very small. The typical values of the turn on time for your phototransistor should be around 2 to 5 microseconds, whereas the turn off time should be around 300 nanoseconds. So these turn on and turn off times will obviously it will limit the high frequency applications. So you can see that the phototransistor circuit is this, which is usually a Darlington pair. Okay. So the phototransistors, you can see here, it requires a separate supply. So Darlington pair, which you might have studied in analog electronics, you might have seen a separate supply for it. The same way this Darlington pair, that is a phototransistor, it requires a separate supply. So in this way, by using pulse transformers and the optocouplers, you can achieve the isolation between the high power converter circuit and the low power logic circuit. Thank you.